It's World Cup time. I'm England manager. I've got a waistcoat. We're all sorted. It's not blue. I'm aware of that. But it's all I've got. And in case you, for some reason, missed the FA Cup final episode, I've moved within my flat. Not as a job. We're still England manager here. We're still York manager, of course, otherwise the save would be pointless. This is our England group. 3 teams in it by 2030. Mali, Panama, of course, Sekou Koita's Mali, and Isidoro Medina's Panama. Player didn't really mention he could be on the chop for York, potentially. We'll keep an eye on that one. I seem to remember Liverpool came in for him at one point and I just said no for some reason, even though he was 4th choice. Oh well. It's worth mentioning, no one's been sold yet. It's still the 11th of June. I brought in 2 players though. You'll see those eventually. So the hosts of Spain, of course, we are doing the first match against Panama in Celta Vigo's stadium, I think it is. I'm not even there. Sterling gets a rap, but could you not retire just before World Cup? Not helping those unfair headline-hogging comments. Azata just got Premier League best player without knowing English. I mean, this is a testament to Azata's gloriousness, isn't it? Doesn't even know English and got player of the year. Now he does. Everyone be worried. All those set-piece goals, all done on instinct. Spain will be in Japan, clearly. When it comes to other results, obviously I'll just let you know the important ones, the big upsets and things like that. Otherwise, I'm only bringing you the goals from these first 2 games. I mean, I'm getting a payday here, 12 million if Hidalgo plays one more international game, which he will do, because he is Argentina's #1 goalkeeper. And they've got definitely one more group game. 11-0 from Croatia, good lord. That's the big news, isn't it? You may have seen it at the beginning there, transfer-wise. Helio's gone to Chelsea. 117 million. They are not messing around after finishing 8th. I mean, enjoy your Europa League football, Helio. I've already brought in 2 strikers. It's one position we didn't need, but there was a free agent who was unbelievable. Right, so as we're about to go in to the match against Panama now, is a good time to bring you the squad that I've decided to take to Spain here, and it looks as follows, pretty much. In fact, if I do it by position, might be the best way of doing this. Baxter's #1 in goal, of course. He has developed quite nicely and irritatingly still at West Ham. Wouldn't mind getting him myself, maybe. Physically, not amazing. Positioning's not great either, but he is our best goalkeeper. There's no 2 ways about that. Because Duas looks like that. Duas is very well rounded without being sensational anywhere. And then Dean Henderson is very similar in a weird way. He's 33. Might keep an eye on him as a potential backup option in the future. For York purposes. Defensively, the actual defenders, of course, are Coolidge. We know about him. He's ours. Those technicals confuse me every time. Scott Parkinson will be alongside him, probably. I may be looking to get him in for me. I just realised it's going to be really weird seeing a few fancy faces and mostly not good faces. Probably should have done that before I did this episode. Never mind. Ben Godfrey, of course, a former York man, way back when, alongside as well as an option, very well rounded again. Whether or not he's going to start over Parkinson, I don't know. They're very similar players overall. Godfrey's tackling is better, but that's about it. Tony McGee's the last option. Tony McGee's a confusing one because he's very good in certain areas, but he's not a ball player in any way, shape, or form. Again, I feel like he's somewhat overrated, but then again, like those low end, the mentals at the bottom end there, the teamwork, the work rate, not good. Leadership's 9. He's sort of like I made a thing about Coolidge's mentals at the end of last episode. At least they're above 10. Like I'm not really sure McGee's got what it takes, particularly at an international level, in those mentals. They're just slightly too problematic for my liking. He has played very well for Liverpool. I can't justify it. In my mind, I can't justify it. Obviously, right back is between Aarons and Reece James. They're both just very handy in general. Both 30 or higher now. Both actually 30. So Chilwell on the left is 33. He's still pretty good all round. Plays second fiddle, of course, to Bradley Saxton, our York man, who we know as well, who is actually pretty similar to Chilwell, just better physically at this point. There's not a lot between them technically. Declan Rice can also step into that central defence if I need him to. He probably won't be needed to. I can probably stick him in largely as that deep line playmaker if I want him to. Obviously, Grimes takes that deep line playmaker role most of the time. Adam Wright is a very good box-to-box to go alongside him. I still regret that face. I just left it from when he was on loan. Andy Stockbridge is there as well. He's pretty handy. He's actually got better, I think, as Stockbridge. So there's sort of the 4 central midfielders, though they're slightly all over the place. Mason Mount can go further back if we want him to. He's very good. 31. This is going to be a lot of play. Like, it's a reasonably old squad, actually, when you look at it. A lot of players 30 and older. It's all of their last hurrah for a lot of these. Ben Godfrey, Declan Rice. Obviously, there's 2 goalkeepers. Rashford is there to play inside forward on the left. Behind Jadon Sancho, who himself is 30 now as well. Phil Foden is 30, which is ridiculous. Playing attacking midfielder. He went to Arsenal, no idea why. Nathan Watson, of course, will be our striker, who is unbelievable. Billy Clark is also very, very good. Well, I don't play his position, so he will be playing inside forward on the wrong side for me. It may look bad. Mason Greenwood also can do that, which is why he's here, as can Tipple. He's also a striker, of course. We know all about him at Man City. So, yeah, the teams are very good in general. I honestly think central defence is the problem. Now, as Baxter sort of come through, finally, took him a few years, but as Baxter's come through, I think our actual problem is in central defence now, as a squad. But our first match is against Panama, so we might be right here. There's a week between matches, so I'm a little bit neither here nor there on whether or not we should be playing a full first team for this first one, because they do have the recovery time. Obviously, later in the tournament, you don't really get that recovery time, which is problematic and needs to be fixed. This first one, I don't know whether or not to play there's 8 days between the two matches, so I can play first 11 if I want to and just make a statement. It might be a case of actually just trying a few things. You can see there's a problem here because he doesn't really do it. So this is strictly speaking, our first 11. Billy Clark will play on that right side, just trying to get him some familiarity. I know it does work because I've had players in the past be on international duty learn new roles because that's where they play for their club, for their nation, rather than their club. It happened with Esposito at Southampton, who learnt left wing because that's where he was playing for Italy, because they had 19 brilliant strikers. But Baxter was in goal, Saxton, Courage, Parkinson, Aarons, Grimes, Rice is the Mazzala, Sancho, Foden and Clark with Watson up front. That is the first 11, strictly speaking. I presume we're going to get 3 subs. This is the sort of the original York version 2 formation without any alterations that I made since, obviously saving it up. So I don't really know what I need to change, if I need to change anything at all. But we'll find out. It is Panama. A lot of the fact, for some reason, my 2 players are lacking match fitness, despite the fact we just played an FA Cup final. You would think my players, the Chelsea players, the United and Tottenham players, because they played the Champions League final, would all be perfectly match fit right now, because they were the ones who played last. No, Man United won, by the way. Man United did win the Champions League over Tottenham, who were 3rd in the Premier League. So I guess we've evenly spoiled everything out, except for Tottenham. But there's Isidoro Medina in that back line. No one else. Eduardo Hooker, great name. All these do seem to be actually real people. Oh no, they're not. They just don't even have new gen faces. For whatever reason, that guy does. Vargas. And there is a real person still up front in the form of Jose Rodriguez, who's had some time. Plays in Croatia. Fair enough. Look, we are favourites for a reason. So like I say, I'll bring you the goals, but they might come thick and fast. I might do this entire thing in 3D as well. That's just gone over. I may have accidentally sabotaged by not playing Medina at all, so he is completely unmatch fit for this. Panama are 96th in the world, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Mali about 37th, I think it said. So obviously they are the higher rated opponents. We're still rated 2nd, by the way, in case you're wondering, as well. I'm also not going to lie, I am just waiting for a humorous piece of text to appear at the bottom with the word hooker in it. I'm not sure who made the mistake. Not in Medina, Cedino, it says at the bottom. But it is 1-0 England, Jadon Sancho gets the goal. Man, much maligned for the large amount of his international career because Chris Wilder didn't play his position, but Sancho nabs that one. Medina's not exactly covered himself in glory there either. I think he's number 5 in their setup. He is. But capitalising on mistake is not how we thought we were going to start this, although that one's been ruled off for offside. He was basically in the post when that went in, so that's unsurprising. I mean, be more offside. Billy learned the game. Well, he's learned it that time. Forcing him to play a role that he doesn't really do is just my way of getting him in the side because he's better than both Rashford and Greenwood. But I can't really justify putting him in as a winger because Jadon Sancho exists as an inside forward, and I have no idea why I've left this so large. Let's close that up a bit. And this has managed to insert itself back under the match stats. I hate this. I don't know why it does this every time. But I can see what they're playing. That's good enough for me. 3-4 attempts. We've hit the post now. Their goalkeeper has made 10 saves in the first 25 minutes. He might be the best goalkeeper in the world with that kind of save rate. Well, he's made 9, I tell a lie. Just that we've had 12 shots on target and 2 goals. So I figured 12 minus 2 is 10, 3-0 now though. Former Manchester United man, Bradley Saxton, supplying the ball to current Manchester United man, Billy Clark. Back post-ish. No, I said back post. He's about 8 yards out. If this is starting to look like a demolition, I may just decide to skip the rest of the goals entirely, unless there's an absolute banging one. Fairly certain Panama were the team that we destroyed in the 2018 World Cup. A penalty is about to happen, but I need to show you the incident. It's honestly one of the most confusing things I've ever seen. I am playing it slightly slower just so you can actually see what happens here, but Aarons may have got a penalty for that one. Then, for some reason, passes it against the player that just tackled him, who then fouls him. I don't know what's happened there. Billy Clark, of course, on 3 goals here. I'm still in slow mo. Yep, he's put that one away. All right, if there's any goals in the second half, I'll just let you know. I'll just bring you for any amazing ones. Otherwise, I'll just let you know the full-time result. All right, Phil Foden just scored a brilliant free kick before half-time. So technically, not really breaking any rules I haven't set just yet. Because that, oh my god, from that angle there, I've just seen the curl on that. That is Beckham-esque from Foden. Heck, that's almost, dare I say it, Carlos-esque. Grimes. Oh, it's 6 now. He might be offside. He was. It's not half-time yet. Not breaking any rules. Yeah, he was. Just a 1/3 goal. It was a rebound goal, so it wasn't really all that special. I'm very happy with everything I just saw. I think, was it 6-0 that we won last time as well? Italy didn't beat Ecuador. Real player. I was about to mock his name. Shout out to China are definitely out after losing 2 out of 2. At least he's not got injured. Right, it's taken a bloody long while to actually get to the second game, mostly because of also York transfer business. But the good news is Mali beat Panama in the other game, which means we're both through, we're both qualified, 2 from 3. Problem solved. I can go full rotation, which I am. Also, apparently it's only 2 yellow cards before you get a suspension. Wow. A lot of people lacking some match fitness, but of course that's what they're here for as well. Part of the reason. Seko Koita up front with Keita. That's a confusing pair. Tibiri Keita. Few names I recognise, obviously Gineppo from my Southampton time. Cheek Decore, probably the big man in general, other than Koita. A lot of real players still here, quite a light on. It's both weird and appropriate that the England squad kind of respond to arrogance in the team talks. Apparently I've made a few surprises in my team selection today. Yes, because we're both qualified. Why would I play my best players? Particularly when your right back is guaranteed to pick up a yellow card. Although in fairness, right back is the one position where there's very little difference between the two of them. Ben Godfrey, get back in defence. That was unnecessary from right. Oh, hang on. There's nearly been a disaster. Speaking of right back, actually, and Reece James, he's just moved to Arsenal. I figured fans of London sides would both hate and appreciate that one. I think that's been ruled off for offside because of shenanigans. There's nothing wrong with the actual goal, but I'm fairly certain the 2 people that slid onto it or near it. Yep, Stockbridge is fine with the goal there. Greenwood actually got the last touch, apparently. It was going in anyway, Mason. Leave it alone. Seko Koita scored, because of course he has. It's their second shot of the game. It's not like it's been coming in any way, shape or form. Mason Greenwood's gone off with an arm injury, by the way. No idea what that could be. Other than a wounding, perhaps. Possession's 50-50, but the shots, definitely not. Rashford. Chills put it in. Clark's finished. There we are. 1-1. Clark may end up being top goal scorer. He's had 4 goals in 2 games, not even playing in his normal position. So Medina's gone home. Xiaonan's gone home already. Obviously all my Brazilians and Argentinians are still through. But Clark's made that 1-1 there. And all good. Just trying to think, nationality-wise. Who's still on this? Pulisic for America, possibly still here. Full-back headers. Please solve them. Oh, it is worth noting that Baxter isn't in goal either, of course. So it's not our first choice goalkeeper in that goal. Ben Godfrey's given away a penalty. The text said it was harsh, but no. The 3D was very clear that it was a penalty. Their left back's the taker, and Marcus Juhas has saved it. Maybe you don't get your left back on penalties. I remember Seko Koita was alright at penalties, wasn't he? Why has he not taken that? Nope, sorry, his penalty taken was 8. Never mind. It was my third choice striker who could take penalties. That's who it was. Brewster. Worth mentioning, 1-1's fine actually. We're still top of the group, not like it makes any difference. Just first 3 second seeds. Theoretically, you probably want to be first seed in the knockout rounds. We know how that went with Bayern Munich in the Champions League last time. I had to deal with that kind of nonsense in this save. Never a guarantee. Well, that's a draw. This is fixed, I'm fairly certain. Just the 30 shots for us at this point. There's shot number 31 and it's gone in at last. Good lord. Chris Tipple, assisted by Adam Wright. The 2 Manchester City men. Yeah, they're both Man City. Had to think for a second there. But yeah, Wright just dinks this back into the box. Chris Tipple's there. Marking's a bit lax. It's in the back of the net. Took us 89 minutes or so, but we're there. 2-1. Like I say, it makes absolutely zero difference other than morale. And that's that 2-1. Irritatingly close, but we'll take it nonetheless. It's a broken wrist for Greenwood. Well, he's out of the rest of it. And Ecuador are the opponents. So we were facing off against Italy's group, so I'm kind of glad they didn't actually completely mess it up in the end, after drawing with Ecuador in the first one. My demands are in for York. That's, okay. Required to meet the Champions League semi-finals. No more getting away with it, apparently. 5-1. Not gonna lie, that was a worrying headline for a second. Not really been any major surprises until now. Poland beat Argentina. 1-1. Penalties does the job. Both those goals were actually in injury time in the first place. So all of my Argentina lads back. Good job, because we got friendlies that are probably going to happen during this World Cup, annoyingly. Cameroon beating Croatia. Bit of a surprise considering how dominant Croatia were in their group. Not sure how good their team is, but in terms of their performances, seem like they've done well. Honduras nearly do something against Germany. And Ireland destroyed Ghana. Wow. So going into this actual knockout match against Ecuador, we're going full team. I've seen an upset. I'm panicking, basically. I've seen an upset. I'm not going to let another one happen to us right now. Obviously, we're in a position to change things around. We will do. Preserve some players. I mean, some of that midfield are already tired as heck just from playing 3 days ago. It is what it is. They have a player called Tromp, and it's confusing me. Potentially a real person, but of course they've got Byron Davila, a player that we had once upon a time. Still at Liverpool, I think. Yep. Worth 60 million, but yeah, rounded, I guess, with the term. Quite physical, quite good mentally. I mean, defensively, not brilliant, but yeah, quite well rounded. Also, the knockout rounds I will do properly. That being said, we've not had a highlight in the first 22 minutes of this first half. Oh look, our right back's been booked. Is there something actually wrong with the game? Grimes has put that home, somehow. Sorry, I just watched that carnage in the box without saying anything. I'm almost forgetting that I actually was meant to be commentating on this properly now. But the good news is we're in 3D on both normal and replay. So Foden whips it in, there's a header, it's saved, and actually, I think it's Grimes with both. Love how it says at the bottom here, replay show it didn't quite cross the line. It did eventually, therefore it doesn't bloody matter, does it? We have players called Tromp and Arse, which, I'm having to restrain myself. I'm presuming at the very least Arse is not meant to be pronounced that way. That was a bizarre tackle pass from Declan Rice there. It's not led to a goal. Now, of course, Billy Clark did actually play most of last match in the end, thanks to the injury to Greenwood. Oh, there's a penalty. Good. Of course there is. I mean, they've not been in this game at all shot-wise. They've not created anything, bar 2 shots. And now they've been gifted a penalty. So here's Arse with another penalty. I presume it's meant to be RC, or if it's even worse, RK, maybe. No accent, though. Bloody hell, we've been dominant. Destroy them. Destroy them, you fools. Foden, Grimes. Now, weirdly, part of my worry is, if we do go out early, for some reason the FA in this save have been weirdly tolerant of averageness in the past. Because if we do go out early, and I should be deservedly fired, I kind of would like to be, good God, then he went in. Because as I said, sort of in the last episode, particularly in that final 3-game run-in where we were, fighting for the title, having to deal with the bloody 30-man squad assessments, there we are, we've got 2-1, finally, really took the momentum out of that last 3 recording session for me personally. So, yeah, remind me never to take international football when it's not actually a necessity, ever again. I mean, not to mention, of course, this is taking out crucial time that I would normally just be focused 100% on transfers, although really, there's not a lot I need to do. I'll be honest right now, when it comes to York, I'm just basically signing young kids with release clauses at this point, because I feel like I've got an 11 now. They're happy, they're settled. I'm just buying people who could potentially replace them in the future, and ridiculous free agents. Yeah, we'll get to that one. I've teased it a couple of times now. You'll see it in the first actual York episode. Clark. Wow, what the hell was that? Brilliant is the answer. Where are we playing? This seems like a big stadium. I just realised I said I'd rotate plays as I felt necessary. It's 73 minutes, made no changes. Billy Clark skips past 1, literally says jinked past at the bottom there. Yeah, accurate. Not a word you see that often, jinked, but well done. Just protect a couple of my better players now. Estupinian is a very good name. A lot of their players seem to be booked. Maybe just the people involved in this move, but all 3 of those actually, he's not midfield, he's the right back. Good news, Baxter doesn't mess that one up, which I was kind of worrying then. Saxton somehow defies physics to keep that in. Declan Rice to Foden to Sancho. Oh my God, that's one of the best goals. I mean, that was unnecessarily good from Sancho. That's now his 10th England goal, and I bet he's glad that Chris Wilder left. This is what you've been missing out on, Chris Wilder. If you'd included Sancho in your squads and not played 5-3-2, you might have won more. Considering we don't have the best centre-backs, baffling. Most annoying thing is, I want to take Sancho off because he's the most tired, but he's got 2 goals. Grimes, therefore, will be the one to be preserved. Couple of minutes from time. Oh, we've got the ball again. I thought it might have been actually a chance for Ecuador in the end, but no. I feel like we may have had bordering on 100 shots in this entire tournament so far. We've only played 3 games. Oh, it is a chance for Ecuador. They've scored again. They've had 3 shots on target, scored twice. Yep, you can see the number of shots we've had, 15. We may be winning 4-2, but I'm now weirdly annoyed again. Anyway, the place has scored. So, wait, hang on. Is Plaza Spanish for place or beach? Now, I've got to be really careful not to actually show you the ticker tape part of this, because the transfers are on that. Not that they're names that you'll recognise, I suppose. Meanwhile, John Stones has retired, as is your goalkeeper, and Bayern offered me a job. Nope, not right now. So these are the fixtures for next time. I think realistically we stop here and I'll make the next part the remainder of this tournament. If there's 4 games, there's 4 games. But I can't guarantee that. So we could end up, because I don't want to do another round, then end up doing 4-game episode and then a 1-game episode. You know what I mean? So Belgium, Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Turkey, Spain and France face each other. That's a big one. Austria and Poland in this round. Portugal and Cameroon. The winner of Portugal-Cameroon. This, if we can get one up on Portugal, that's interesting. Doesn't look like a pleasant run to the final if we assume Spain or France beat Austria or Poland here. But yes, I'll be back next time out. I'm not sure how I'm going to actually release this now. Might actually release this first part on the Sunday, and then Monday will be the remainder. And then you get to do all my transfer stuff with York on Tuesday. That's probably the plan. Until then, ta-ra!